Before you book your next flight, you need to hear this. 2026 comes with new travel rules that could cost you hundreds if you're not paying attention. I'm Andre and welcome to And Go Travels. As someone who has worked on a cruise ship and traveled on a budget for years, I've got plenty of tips that'll help no matter what your budget looks like. I've got 7 changes coming to air travel, and you'll want to wait until the end because there's something that could really hurt your wallet, and a lot of people aren't even talking about it. Alright, change number 1. Airline flight delay payments. Airlines would no longer be required to pay if your flight gets delayed because of something within their control. A rule was created under the Biden administration that would have required airlines to pay between $200 to $775 depending on how long your flight was delayed. Also, meals and hotel rooms would have been covered too. Well, the Trump administration said that rule will be canceled entirely. This kind of cash payment isn't anything unheard of. In Europe and Canada, these kinds of payments are standard if a flight gets delayed for things like staffing shortages or issues with the plane. But as for here in the United States, airlines will continue to decide if they'll pay up or not. Number 2, a new fee to get through security. I made a short recently where I talked about TSA charging people $18 if they don't have a real ID. That fee will be going up. Starting in February, people without a real ID will be charged $45 to get through security. Of course, this is if they don't have a passport or other form of identification. The $45 is for the traveler to pay to use TSA Confirm ID for 10 days. Now, apparently about 6% of people still don't have this real ID. Folks, just get the new ID and save some money. Y'all, Southwest is slowly becoming unrecognizable because things are changing over there. They've got number 3, 4, and kind of 5. Starting with their change for plus size passengers. Before, if you flew on Southwest and maybe needed 2 seats to comfortably fit on the plane, you could buy 2 seats and apply for a refund later. But starting in January, rules on this reimbursement are getting tighter. Both seats must be purchased in the same class, and refund requests must be made within 90 days of the date of travel. But the main restriction, in my opinion, the flight must depart with at least 1 open seat or with passengers from standby. But get this change is happening the same day as another Southwest change, and that's the new seating policy. Southwest was known for its no assigned seating. Before, you would get a position in line depending on when you checked in for your flight, or you paid extra to get on the flight sooner. Some people liked it, some people hated it, but in my opinion, if you checked in early enough, you'd be able to avoid the middle seat, and I hate the middle seat. Well, Southwest is becoming like other airlines where everyone is assigned a seat. This could hurt your wallet because, let's be honest, they're not going to give up that aisle seat that's close to the exit for free. You'll most likely have to pay up for that one. Baggage fees. You've probably already heard that Southwest has started charging for checked bags. For many years, each passenger would be able to check 2 bags for free. A lot of people would fly Southwest for that reason, but in May, that went away. But Southwest isn't the only airline making changes to their baggage policy. American Airlines has started to charge more for the first checked bag on short-haul international flights. So if you're flying to Canada, parts of the Caribbean, or Central America or Guyana, instead of paying $35, you'll pay $40. This matches American's fees for domestic flights, so not the worst change. But American has also gotten rid of those bag sizer thingies at the gate. They say it's to simplify the boarding process. But I wonder how people will be able to prove their bag fits if an employee thinks it's too big and wants to charge you for it. Honestly though, baggage fees seems to be getting expensive across the board. Other airlines are becoming more strict when it comes to your personal bag, carry-ons, and check bags. It's always good to do a little research before heading to the airport to see if you'll pay more than expected. But the next change I want to talk about might make it harder for anyone to even predict the price of their air travel. And that's dynamic pricing. It's nothing new, but as AI improves, that type of practice could change. If you don't know what dynamic pricing is when an airline changes the price of a ticket based on demand. But it could go even further than just that. Dynamic pricing could be an airline using a customer's personal data to decide what price they'll charge. So for the same seat and service, you could pay more than the next person because the algorithm thinks you've got the money. Now before we get to the change that could hurt everyone's wallet, I've got a question for you. Do you like traveling without breaking the bank? Well, I've got just the channel for you and you're already on it. Here at Go Travels, I'm all about budget travel so you can pay less and see more. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because while I can't guarantee your next flight will be free, hitting that button will always be. Number 7, Spirit Airlines can mess it up for all of us. This is the one I don't think a lot of people see coming. Spirit has already warned its investors they might be out of business within the next year. The airline has recently filed for bankruptcy twice, stopped flying to several destinations, and cut staff. For us budget travelers, seeing the airline go with its cheap tickets would be a sad day. But even if you don't fly Spirit and wouldn't shed a tear to see them go, your plane tickets could increase too. The shutdown of Spirit could lead to higher fares at all airlines. If Spirit disappears, that's one less budget airline competing, and less competition usually means higher prices for everyone. And higher prices could start now, since the airline has already cut service to 11 cities like San Diego, Salt Lake City, and Minneapolis. Other airlines in those areas could decide it's time to raise prices, since flyers would have less options. But listen, even with prices going up, there are still ways to score a deal. One airline even offers an all-you-can-fly pass, and I put it to the test. If you want the real truth about whether it's worth it, watch that video right there. See you in the next one. Travel safe.